Hello, guys. It's good to be talking with you again. This tonight will be a little different than last night. Last night was really rather, you got a taste of my family, uh, with the bubbles going through the air and my grandson coming to join me. So we had a shortened video last evening, but it was okay. It was nice. You got a little taste of my family. Now, I want to mention on Thursday next week, excuse me, will be our last day together prior to the uh, Easter vacation, Easter break that we're going to have. So, Thursday at 11 o'clock, I'd like for us to have a Zoom meeting where we get together, we can talk with each other just for a few minutes, and then I just want to give you a couple little notes that when we hang up, you just send right to me your notes. Some of you I know may not be able to do that time, but please, if you can, check your schedules. Let me know if 11 o'clock works for you. I noticed that on a schedule I saw that a lot of teachers are having their meetings like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I want to kind of grab 11 o'clock if that would work with everyone else. Okay. So we're going to pick up where I tried to talk last evening and I just had a hard time. But anyway, we're talking about Stephen Crane. As a writer, he's a writer of realistic fiction. And Crane is more concerned with the effects of events on the characters than actually the character themselves. To the point that sometimes he does not even name or give his characters names. He's more concerned with the events. The themes in the open book that we try to talk about, the first one was nature's indifference to man. Crane makes it clear that nature is ultimately indifferent to the plight of man, possessing no consciousness that we can understand. As the stranded men progress through the story, the reality of nature's lack of concern for them becomes increasingly clear. The narrator highlights the developments by the way the sea is described. And I think I did mention this last evening. Early in the story, the sea snarls and hisses and bucks like a bronco. And later on, he merely paces to and fro. No longer an actor in the men's actual drama of reality. The idea, one nature is as much a punisher as a benefactor. Because as we read this story, that the waves are what brought them into punishment, yet the wave is what also brought them in and saved them. The second theme of the open boat is man's insignificance in the universe. It conveys a feeling of loneliness that comes from man's understanding that he is alone and the universe is insignificant in its workings. When the correspondent realizes by section 6 that the fate will not answer his pleas, he settles into despair. He gets very, very depressed. He really struggles there. The correspondent fears that he will perish without any connection to whatever gives him a sense of who he is. And we kind of have a little taste of that now with this coronavirus going on. There's fear, but we have a hope because Christ tells us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, joy, peace, and a sound mind. So even though here there's this fear going on, we're not disconnected from ourselves. We are strong in who we are in Christ. But during this time period, we have to remember this correspondent had fear that he was going to perish before anything could ever happen, any sense of himself or any identity. The third one is society as meaning in a harsh world. In assembling the men in the dinghy and creating a microcosm of mankind, Crane sets up man's greatest invention, society, against what first seems to be cruel and unrelenting nature. When faced with the savage, stormy seas that they're in and off the coast of Florida, the men in the dinghy immediately band together because they recognize that society is the best defense against the chaos of nature. Now, we're kind of living in a different time where society right now, we have to keep our distance. We can't have social gatherings. So we're actually discovering how difficult it is to be by ourselves. Some of us may feel the aloneness that Crane is talking about here. But again, if you feel that way, I've given you my phone number. Please call me. Don't ever feel that you're totally alone out there. And again, remember, greater is he that is in you than he that is in this world. Stephen Crane didn't have that hope that we have today. When he was faced with a savage storm, they realized that they had to band together. And the narrator observes that the men's cooperation is personal and it's heartfelt, which suggests that the men derive some kind of spiritual satisfaction from the arrangement. And I'm going to end there, and tomorrow we're going to discuss the characters in the open boat. And that'll give you enough background to help you get started as you start reading this story by Stephen Crane. Again, let me know whether Thursday at 11 o'clock will work for you or not. And again, please, if this time is very hard for you and you're finding a struggle, don't hesitate to call me. Please, I gave you my number. I don't want to give it again because it's public now, so I don't want to open it up to any strange person. But my students, you know my number. Please call me or email me and I'll send it to you. All right? Have a great night. Stay well. And when the weather permits, get outside for a little walk. Get some fresh air. Get away from the books and the computers and the games and just get some fresh air. Get some fresh breath. Okay? And I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday at 11 o'clock. Have a great night.